Okay guys, welcome back to the Just Two Broke Boys channel. As always, it's your favorite broke boy here, Matiku. Yeah, so we're back with this Year to Six Figure series. As you've seen during the week, we're trying to drop like some live trading analysis and just general chats that Toa and I usually have.
Each trade, like when I start looking at each trade as it has to hit TP, it has to TP, because that's poverty talking right there.
So trying to get back on that. We have a few goals set out. One of them being this year we gotta take off a six-figure withdrawal in a single trade. Not yet, but yes, definitely six-figure withdrawal and have six-figure funded accounts. So either 100K, 200K, at least one. But yeah, two of those things are the goals for this current year. Didn't do a very good job at documenting this whole journey last year. I think with so many things happening work-wise and the different industries that we're in and lines of work that we're in, figuring out how all of that still comes together, even with gym and all this crazy good stuff, has been absolutely crazy. But today's video, without going too long away or going off on a tangent, I'm going to talk about just reviewing the general trade metrics or idea or approach to it, right? So in 2 years that I've been funded, 2023 and 2024, I noticed something particularly interesting, right? So in 2023, I was a little bit more conservative in my trading. I think like the total amount of trades I take in each challenge would be quite minimal, whereas compared to 2024, I was very aggressive in my trading, and I'd have obviously a lot more trades taken in that challenge or whatever, like within a month, than I would have compared to the previous year. Needless to say, both years got funded, got my payouts with my Forex, my funded FX, yes, my funded FX, whom have now rebranded as Seacrest Markets or Seacrest Funded, I think. I'll put down everything here. And yeah, so it's been cool, got 2 payouts, cool, whatever. Then I started to realize something, right? And it's so crazy how on this journey or your trading journey, especially psychology-wise, you find that there's certain things that you get past for a while, right? And then a few years down the line, they kind of creep back up again. But then I think it's not too detrimental so long as you understand what it is, and just thinking about it, it finally made sense why, a lot of trading content or content that's just geared towards traders, will often have the whole ice plunge, ice bath, meditation, like stillness and all of this stuff, because I think it's so easy to get caught up in the technical side of things where it's like, okay, but I've back tested, I have this data and this data and this data and this data, that sometimes I think the reason why you have to practice those grounding exercises or those exercises that kind of take you away from everything is the fact that they actually help you take a step back and see what's missing. So I think for me, what I took notice of was I had data on my ability to execute the way that I want to trade, you know what I mean? And I think for the most part, as far as like back testing and all of that stuff, yes, of course, you want to get all the data that's necessary, and you just want to see how often you're able to execute this plan over time or the strategy over time, right? Which is cool. So the other thing that I realized was now starting to creep back up or find its way back, right, is I got very used to taking a few trades in the beginning, which is very easy. I don't know why, it just was very easy. And with that said, that was fine. But then when I started to realize is over these last couple of years where I have been funded and I have gotten payouts, what I realized is for some reason I'm struggling with FOMO and overtrading just a little bit, or actually, let me say a lot, right? And I kind of understood it to kind of be yet another like normal trading journey, because I think at first you kind of set these goals like, okay, I want to stop over trading, I want to stop getting FOMO'd into trading and stuff like that. And what I realized is, as far as mechanisms to help with that in the past couple of years, especially during my funded stages and stuff like that, was I had ways to get me through it because I didn't know how to go around it, if that makes sense. So, for example, the goal obviously at first is I want to stop overtrading. Why? Because it makes me blow my account and stuff like that at the time before I discovered prop firms. But now what I realize is when I overtrade, I am able to manage the risk in my overtrading. So I might end the day on a higher loss, so to speak, but I've never violated like a max loss or max daily loss due to overtrading or FOMO. So in that instance, I was able to be like, okay, cool, I'm not where I want to be with this particular problem, but I have a good structure or metric to help me through it, right? So as I was thinking about that recently, I finally decided to like note things down, having had this epiphany, and kind of see how I go around it, because the plan was to initially still backtest, but I think now I had a much more different reason for backtesting, right? So if we go to my Notion here, so first things first, so this is like a new page that I just created from my 2020 trading workspace here on Notion, right? So this one I called it strategy testing and under it's profitability. Now, the main reason that I created this page was based on my epiphany. What I understood was it's a question of expectations, right? Because the thing about FOMO and overtrading is the idea or belief that, okay, yes, I am taking these losses right now, but my winning trade is right after this. It's right there. Like, if I can just get through this, I'm gonna get it. And you know what? Cool. In some months it does work. But I realized that the reason why it's coming back now as I'm getting better at trading is because ultimately the only thing that I've ever tested was how good I am at executing the strategy, but I didn't have data that specifically serves to make me understand what I can expect or what's expectable of the strategy during certain particular times, right? So it got me to thinking of this other metaphor that Tawa and I usually have, right? Which is we are bullets, right? So in this life, and I think just in general as traders or just people, right? You have to know the kind of person that you are, right? So if, let's say, people were like a gun, right? There's some people who are the gun itself, you know, the housing, the structure and everything, the micro explosion that fires this crazy thing. Like some people are just the gun, right? And then other people are like the mag, you know what I mean? Like the gun is cool and everything, but if you can only shoot one bullet and then don't know how to put it back in, it's completely useless, right? So some people are the mag in life and how they approach things, right? They are the guys that carry the bullets, and without them, the fight is damn near over, right? Then there are people who are like the bullets in the gun, right? No direct, listen, I move fast and hot in whatever direction that I'm going to be going in. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to now think, okay, should I maybe, I'm going to go hard in that. So because of that, I had to now understand, okay, what's causing the overtrading, what's causing the FOMO, and I realized that it's simply because I did not have any data that I can fall back on in terms of what my expectations should be of the strategy. So what you'll see on the profitability side here is a few things, right? So one, the main confirmation that I need to have with my strategy is I need to have a 1 hour candle closing in my trade direction, right? So currently I've only just gone through spotting how many times my setup actually appears in January and February. So in Jan, you had a total of 21 possible setups, and then in February we had a total of 13 setups, right? Now these are just the ones that I've spotted. After this, I still have to run this data through another test where basically with the strategy that I do have, how many of these trades that I've now spotted are actually executable using this particular strategy, right? And this was the part that's very important because I think this is what's really going to frame up the expectations that I have for this. So you might find that out of 21, the ones that I can actually execute will probably be like 14, 15, 16. So now it'll help me avoid situations where within the first week of a challenge, I've already lost, let's say, 8 trades out of 21 that I'm supposed to take in the whole month. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's currently what I am busy with, a little bit of back testing. Hopefully over the weekend, this seems like a very long chat, I can finish the whole year of 2024. So basically, if you look at this one that I just completed right now, so I'll basically put in the trade, what direction it was, how it closed, and all that stuff. And then my job is to now apply these setups or these instances where the setups appear, and then see if I can actually trade them. And then out of that, then I'll fully know what my expectations should be for the pair. So yeah, very interesting times. Very curious to see how this goes. Going to be taking a challenge with Equity Edge, currently in a 10K one with them. I'll post that in a bit. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, guys, as far as this 0 to 6 figure series, this year everything is pointing towards the 6-figure mark. That is the goal, and I don't know if you know us and goals, man, but we gotta get those things done. But anyway, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, it's been your favorite broke boy, Seacrest Funded, and I'll catch you on the next episode of this here 0 to 6 figure.